So some people think of the American dream as a ridiculous amount of wealth, and we see it depicted in reality TV all the time. Bravo is notorious for this, and I'm not criticizing them for it because it's certainly a guilty pleasure of mine to watch these shows. Why do you think Americans, especially given the hard economic times that we're facing right now, why do you think they love watching these shows so much?
I remember I used to love Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, Robin Leach when I was a kid. My American dream when I was a kid was like, someday I'm going to be so rich, I'm going to have an island. Unfortunately, it's just laughing at other people, and it's easier to laugh at somebody else to make yourself feel better than actually take some pride in what you're doing and have some self-worth that way.
You know, if the American dream has died and we really can't move up the mobility ladder, at least we can feel superior in some way. And so we look at these people, even these really rich, crazy people, and think, oh, they're crazy and they're narcissistic, and oh, well, at least I'm not like that. So there's a sense of power and pride in that, you know, and a protection of our own identity in some way.
It's definitely encouraging people to be douchebags. Let's keep it real. I mean, you see it all the time, you know, whether it's like high school students, whether it's other people who are just attempting to be celebrities, they'll do something just to get a little bit of attention, and of course they'll be applauded for it. Just a recent case involved that anchor in North Dakota who got caught cussing on camera, and he didn't know his mic was hot, but now he's been invited to Letterman, and he's doing all these national shows, and he's this big celebrity, and I'm like sitting here feeling like chopped liver. I'm like, what am I doing? Talking about the American dream. I should cuss and like say ridiculous things.
So these reality shows, I think, are the worst representation of America. Think what the world, which envisions every one of us living like that, which is of course not true, and we export that around the world too, and I think it sends a bad message. But I grew up in the 50s and 60s, and I remember the Kennedys. That was kind of our first exposure to the super rich and how they lived in Hyannisport, and Jacqueline Kennedy just always going to France and dressing, and of course that is good, I think, to elevate America and give us kind of that leadership feeling, but I think that we've gone a little on a detour on this with these reality shows.
Is there an obsession that we have with wealthy people that's also feeding into this? Do you think that people watch these shows because they want to live vicariously through these individuals?
Partly our fascination with the rich and the successful is, how did they do it? And is there a way that maybe I can find a strategy to bring more ease into my life? Because I think that's what money brings people, is a little bit of peace of mind and some ease. So I think we're always looking for clues, you know, and so we're kind of drawn to it in some ways.
Go to the supermarket and look at every single magazine there. It's celebrity. People love celebrities. It's just an infatuation we have, and they're bigger than life, whether it's sports or entertainment or political. And so that is a part of our makeup, and I think that's probably a good thing. It gives people something to aspire to, but it also is not quite that happiness. I think people at home with that wife or husband and 2.5 kids and the dog and the picket fence can be a lot happier than these Hollywood celebrities we see who are prisoners in their own home. So I think that we just have to define our own happiness.